All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I'd also like to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in the 1/3. And Adon Ratazah, this lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And the Wadiah Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Forgive me the inspiration to do this lesson. And I'm going to title it something along the lines of fear will be a part of Jacob's trouble. Okay, but so will faith. All right. So, pretty much in Jacob's trouble, or when trouble arises, it's either going to be fear or faith. Okay. In the time of trouble, it's either going to be fear or faith. And I really want to push this prophetic exhortation. Okay, I want to push this prophetic exhortation to the body of believers, especially the times that we are living in. Okay, I want to exhort you, okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. All right, you got a lot of things happening. A lot of people are going to be panicking, but the scriptures also tell you that men will also, their heart will fail them, all right, in the time to come. So what I want to do real quick is I did put in the word exhortation. Now, before I get to that, let me get this in Ephesians, the 4th chapter, okay? So when you go to Ephesians, it goes into unity of the Spirit, all right? So you have to understand this is all about unity. Yahweh Shai is on the way. Ephesians 4:4, it says, there is one body and one spirit, even as ye were called, and one hope of your calling. So we've been called. So there's a certain standard that we keep within this calling. This is why we are being moved to exhort more now than ever, pertaining to the times at hand. All right. So now let me jump down and let's just go right to 11. It says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. So this is all about us being built up right now, because we're getting ready to experience a time like no other. So your faith muscle needs to be pumping. Your faith muscle needs to be in shape. Your faith muscle needs to be applied with the weight that's getting ready to be put upon our shoulders, okay? Because not everyone else is going to tackle the events of Jacob's trouble the way the hopeful elect will. And the hopeful elect is going to operate through the spiritual mindset of faith and faith alone, okay? So this is what it's all about, us being perfected, okay? Now, from there, let me get this exhortation, okay? When you go into Luke 3:18, it says, and many other things that speak about Yahushai, in his exhortation preached he unto the people. So you're just being exhorted to get you built up. You know, these are conversations that you're not going to have on the day-to-day basis. So you also want to be aware of what you are allowing into your mind and your thought process on a day-to-day basis, because if you're just around worldliness, if you're just around the run-of-the-mill talk, you're not being spiritually minded at what you're going to experience that will be common to man. Okay, so there needs to be a sobering mind mentality now. Okay, you should have a very sober mind mentality right now. Okay, you should not be drunken with the affairs of this world, because this thing's about to crack open, man. Okay, so in the time of trouble, are you going to have fear, or are you going to have faith? Now, quick precept came to mind. What is it? Let me put this. See what comes up. Check this out. Now in Proverbs, let me get this real quick. In Proverbs 24:10, if thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. So you may have had experiences where you've, fainted or, didn't perform spiritually as well as you wanted to when adversity approached. But this is why you're going through adversity. This is why you're going through troubling times right now while everyone is rejoicing and being happy, because you are experiencing a baptism. Now, when you go into this word faint, relax, sink, drop, disheartened, okay? So you could at times not feel spiritually strong when you are battling adversity on the day-to-day, but what that's doing is allowing you to get that spiritual practice in. So when lights go off, when gas runs out, when water stops running, okay, you are built up to be able to handle that, and you can now perform because you've been exercised by it. You've been working that faith muscle out, so you can act cool, you can act calm, you can act collective. All right. Is that Ezekiel? Let me see. Isaiah 33:6. Look at this. You need to understand this. Okay. Anything that you're going through right now is to build you up so you have more faith. Everything that you're going through right now is to build up your faith. It's not to destroy you. Remember, we weren't brought into captivity to be destroyed. We were not brought into captivity to be destroyed. Okay. Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Now let's look this word stability up. Okay. You got the tariffs jacking up Babylon's economy. This place is dwindling into scarcity. So how are you going to react when there's a lack of bread? How are you going to react when there's a lack of resources? You're going to act faithful. Okay. We can read John 6. Now I am at work. I would love to go deeper into that, this topic with examples, but you can read John 6. This is just a quick prophetic exhortation. All right. Firmness, fidelity, steadfastness. Oh, steadfastness. Wait a minute. Let me finish this. Then we got to get 2 Corinthians 15. Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. What times? Times like no other. Times when men's heart are failing them for fear. Times where people are experiencing things that they never experienced before. And now they have to rely on what they've been sowing. Okay? And it says, shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So who are you going to fear more? Man or the Lord? Okay, you're going to fear Yahweh Shemel Shai more, and you're going to have faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai more, where Eve and man are going to have more faith in man than their power. Okay, now from there, since I said steadfastness and Yahweh Shemel Shai allowed me to remember it, let's go to 1 Corinthians 15. Remember, steadfast, right? 1 Corinthians 15:58, very beautiful chapter. It says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, unwavering, okay? Being faithful, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Yeah, you know, if a day goes by because of Babylon's BS, it gives me more of an incentive to do twice as many videos the next day, okay? We're not just not doing lessons because we're just chilling. We're still in captivity. So we want to be diligent every day. This is why I'm on break. I'm at work. Okay, but the Wadi Abba Shema Shai for putting that on my mindset. It's not to me to brag or boast. This is the spiritual mindset that Yahweh Shema Shai Bashimar Kakwadash has given us. Okay, so it's just like, what can separate us? Tribulation, trial, anguish, perplexity. None of those can separate us. That's the faith we have to have. So Jacob's trouble should not separate you from the Lord. It should bring you closer. Jacob's trouble should bring you closer to the Lord. Adversity brings you closer to the Lord. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not vain in the Lord. Exactly. Okay. Now going back real quick to exhortation, this is why we're being exhorted. Okay. This is why we're being exhorted. Now I did see one that I liked right here. 1 Corinthians 14:3, but he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort. So we're prophesizing and exhorting so that we could be comforted for the times that are coming. And these times that are coming are going to have men, their own mind is going to fail them. They're going to break. They're going to lose it. They're going to crash. They're going to fear. They're going to cry. So what are you going to have in the day of trouble? Faith or fear? You know, you're going to have fear of what man can do to you, or faith in what Yahweh Shema Shai is going to do. You know, remember, fear not what man could do unto thee. Luke 21:25, and this is the return of Yahweh Shai. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations. So with this tariff situation, that's going to leave nations in distress, okay? Because you're going to have the bully on the block. The bully on the block is going to, his fridge is becoming empty. And that's for a greater reason. That's for a greater reset. That's for people to be in more distress so they'll be easily acceptable and comply to the MOTB. So Esau is beating people even while they're down so that when he helps them up, this is the only way you can get up, and it's through the MOTB. See? So are you going to have fear or are you going to have faith? And it says, with perplexity and the sea and the waves roaring, men's heart failing them for fear. Now, I'm actually curious because I know the word heart goes into mind. I see psycho. So let's see. Breath of life, faint, soon away, heart. Okay, so it actually could be, okay, it's the only, let me see if there's another word. I'm just curious because it could go into their mind or their literal heart. All right, not that one. Oh, that word goes into kill. Let me see. Let's go into this. Breathe, blow, blowing, waning, breath, hand. Oh, wow. Wax cold. So men's heart, they're going to die. Heart attacks. Their mind is going to break. Their heart, literal heart is going to break. See? And that's because of fear, anxiety. So if you battle anxiety demon, fear demon, doubt demon, that's to build you up so that you're stable when a situation happens again and you're able to handle it. So embrace it. Embrace fear. You can't, you got to look fear in the eye. Okay? Fear is a spirit. You got to conquer that spirit. All right? Your body is going to fear, but your brain or your mind or your spirit isn't. So you got to understand that fear is only to be feared itself. Right? As they say. See? And it says, and men's hearts failing them for fear. So the men's heart is going to fail them because they fear. So we're not going to fail because we have faith. So it's either faith or fear in the time of trouble. It's either faith or fear in the time of trouble. And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, chariots, with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So what men are going to fear is what we are having faith in. What men are going to fear is what we have been waiting and have faith in. So in a time of trouble, are you going to have faith or fear? And if you are going through trouble now, then use these times of trouble to work out your faith muscle. Have that faith muscle nice and strong as the days of trouble come, okay? So I believe those are the points I wanted to make. I pray that this lesson was edifying, and I just want to say, Call Halal, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do group well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, Shalom.